Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you another episode of Indie Crunch, and today we are looking at Bridge Project. Now I forget exactly what the company is called who made this, but I do know that they actually also did Bridget and the other bridge simulators you may have heard of. So I'm going to instantly go to map menu here, and if I go back you can do rural, city, canyons, and varied. So lots of different maps available. Varied are quite hard, and that's what you saw Daedalus and I playing, and kind of ridiculous. Cities is also hard. I'm going to go to Canyon and do a bit of an earlier level here. So here's my previous bridge, but I'm just going to restart this level for you. So let's go restart map. So as you can see, there are only certain anchor points you can work with. In this level, for instance, there's an anchor point down here, an anchor point here, and of course the anchor points that make the start of the bridge. So they give me iron and steel, so for the actual bridge part, I'm going to make that out of iron. Iron's a very hard material, and it weighs quite a bit, but also is able to support, is very strong. It's not going to break very easily. So you can also change the settings so that it doesn't automatically build the road for you, but I am not advanced enough for that, as anyone can attest to who has seen me actually try to, apparently that's too long, so I have to build outwards here. And I think how I'm going to do that is actually build a small triangle up, and then also build that to here, and then I'm going to quickly erase that whole joint and do a connecting joint. If you make small joints, it actually uses up more material, because as you can see there's some cross hatching in the middle. So if you do really large joints, you will end up using less material in general. So I'm going to do it like this. Not enough material available, iron selected, which is good because I just realized that I'm using the absolute wrong material here. Let's go back. I'm actually supposed to be using iron since it doesn't really matter how heavy this is. So let's do this again. Build it to the middle, build it here, up, then a spare little bar going here, then connect it to the 3 supports. As you can tell, they actually give you a fuck ton of iron for this, so clearly you're supposed to use a lot of iron. They do give you small hints at how this is supposed to work. And steel is generally best used for on top, because steel, unlike iron, is a bit less sturdy, but has a lot of flex and give to it, and is also great for making, and is also very light. You'll know this if you've ever picked up a cast iron pan before. Kind of a heavy motherfucker. So at this point you might be wondering, what the fuck is wrong with this bridge? I will show you exactly what is wrong with this bridge. It's pretty fucking obvious. If you start the simulation here, it is actually just going to collapse in the middle. And one of the main complaints I have with this game is that the simulation's a bit bad. Like, there's no reason for this segment of the bridge to actually be broken as it says it is. Oh, and there we go. By the way, I'm going to get this out of the way right away. Do I recommend this game? Fuck yeah, especially if you want to have it be a multiplayer experience, like if you want to play with friends. It is fucking brilliant for that. I'm actually going to create another X. I might actually be overbuilding this right now and making it a bit too heavy, but I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and build a little arch here. Now you might... not enough material, never mind. I'm going to erase the hell out of that. Now this should actually succeed in terms of the tests. No, I've overbuilt the hell out of it, so let's just stop this test right away. As you can tell, I don't really need this whole section. One of my worst habits in this is actually overbuilding, so I have to know when to stop, know when to hold them, know when to roll them, know when to walk away. And there we go, this should actually hold the bridge quite well. Still a bit of sag in the middle, but I only have a 1-ton train to deal with, so I think I should be fine. Although I can actually... what I could do instead of this is I could actually build... I still have a lot of iron left, so I could build a little support out this way. It wouldn't be that good, but it would be better than nothing. So let's do it this way. And I can't actually build up to there, but I can build from here to here to here, and from here to here, and this sucks, but at least it's a support. There we go. See, this is actually taking a lot of strain, so it was probably a good idea to actually put that there. Had to use some mixed materials, but canyons aren't the easiest levels, and I didn't start on the easiest canyon level. So you can tell the simulation tends to be a tiny bit sketchy. I can actually mess around with things. I can actually turn off the stress show. and just see how the bridge reacts naturally. And if I wanted to, I could also change the camera angle. Right now it's centered. Let's go to like car camera, and that will center it over the thing. Car camera 2 gives us a bit of a better view, so you can see your bridge collapse from all kinds of awesome angles. And then if you want, you can go to manual test afterwards. Let's I want to replay this level. Continue playing this level. You can actually manually test it afterwards. So if you go to test bridge and then you click on manual test, what if I want 9 tanks to drive over it? I can do that. So let's see, can it support even more weight than I've put over it? So I think these tanks are like something 30 tons apiece or 40 tons apiece, I forget. It tells you right beforehand. So fairly easy test. Let's just stop this simulation. Or no, that's edit bridge. Have to wait for the test to be over. I can also do windstorms, earthquakes. Let's do a level 5 windstorm, see if it can hold up to that. Maybe we're expecting lots of windstorms in this valley. Let's turn the stress back on and see exactly what's happening. Total stress? Oh, it's looking pretty bad, but you know, fairly solid bridge so far. And not to mention now I can see one of the main problems in my bridge that I didn't notice before. I actually do not have a beam crossing up here. Well, you know, it actually stood up to 60 km/h winds pretty easily. Let's do one more. It's still falling apart, so now if I were to drive, let's say, a 5-ton train or a 500-ton train over it, it would probably just crash right down through the center. Yeah, anyways, really fun to experiment with the tests. Oh man, oh god. But let's move on to the next level. Let's go to map menu, and every level is quite a bit different than the previous one. This one, here's our current design. Kind of a piece of crap, all things considered, but you know, it looks kind of like a bridge. So let's erase all of this and see exactly what my thought process was here. So as you can see again, this actually has a fair amount of anchor points. It has like an anchor at the very bottom, has an anchor up there, one anchor on each side. And I'm not sure why it doesn't actually allow you to use more anchors in this. Sometimes the limitations seem a bit goddamn arbitrary, and all they give us is iron and cabling. So, what I want to do, what I really want to do, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want, is to build up from this lowest point with like a little triangle, then build up one more to get some more support here. It's also a bit tricky to click in the right position. Overall, I think that Bridget is the better of the two actual bridge simulators that you can get. So this in itself should be pretty damn strong. Now I just want to build a structure on each side, and this structure I want to be basically as heavy as fucking possible in order to take as much weight as possible. So let's build this a bit higher. And the great thing about the left side and having those underneath anchor points is I can actually start building the bridge. Material not available. Uh-oh. So I have overbuilt the fuck out of this. So let me select and kill this. Apparently I have too many limits to my materials. You might think this is only costing 1,000 pounds. It actually costs quite a bit more than that. This is in the millions. So it makes more sense than that. So really it's useless building a box because it won't support that much more weight than just a triangle over on the side there. So then let's build this one high, and I'll just cross beam it once, then build it 2 high here with another cross beam. And then I can actually build one more little structure on this side because of the materials they've given me. And of course I run out of materials because again I'm kind of overbuilding. Like I mentioned, all I really need is the ability, or is a little triangle over on this side. So let's do that instead. And then build it kind of like this. Oh, material not available again. Well, you know, that's perfectly alright too. Let's undo that last little bit and just go with cables. Cables, of course, aren't suspension cables, but do hold up the bridge from the structure. So let's go ahead and attach as much as we can. You need quite a good angle of incidence in order for this to actually hold up, so it's better to build a bit higher, really. Now, if absolutely necessary, I can actually take away quite a bit of this structure up here. It only needs to be another line going up. But to be honest, I think this bridge can fairly easily take 2 tanks. There are also leaderboards in this game, but unfortunately they are hacks bullshit because a lot of the records are for less money than it takes just to bridge the gap with the cheapest material. So it's impossible to actually get position on the leaderboard. I would request that the company does something to fix that in the future. Okay, the middle is looking a bit tough there, but I did indeed pass the test. Again, if I were to change anything there, and I would easily change things there. Let's go continue playing this level. I would probably take away this little segment here and, you know, build up with a bit more iron. I know this is an unusual episode of Indie Crunch, but to be honest, I just like the game, so I want to recommend it. I know it's not quite the best, it has a lot of problems, but it is full of hilarity, and it's actually a lot of fun to play with. It reminds me of being in school. Don't know exactly why, but it does. So let's build this up a bit further. Not tall enough, huh? Well, I have some useless cross-hatching going on there, so let's erase that. Turn off the auto cross-hatching, which you can do just in the building options. Crossbars disabled. Also, sometimes crossbars will really screw you over by building like right in the middle of the road, and whenever a bus drives by, it's just like, no, fuck that noise. You can't have crossbars, and it drags your whole bridge with it. So now that I'm not using crossbars, I can, oops, go ahead and undo that because that's stupid. But crossbars do add extra structural support. So now I have it a bit taller on each side. Let's see if I can make this a stronger bridge by just connecting 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, no. Not enough material for that. I could also make iron, but I don't think I need it. Well, this bridge is considerably worse, so let's just move on to the next level. Apparently I had the right idea. So let's continue, go back to level select, and see what level I'm currently on here. Apparently I'm on map number 5 on the canyon right now. Currently I'm stuck in the city. I think I am stuck in the village or the suburbs, but I am not actually stuck anywhere else, so I have steel here, that is for over top of the bridge. I have iron for use on the heavier segments of the bridge, and I have 4 major anchor points. So I assume the things I'm going to be driving over this are going to be a bit ridiculous. Steel can also stretch longer spans than iron can, which is another advantage of steel, but not completely necessary. So let's go for some iron under here as supports. So I'm assuming they want this bridge to be kind of overbuilt to fuck. I'm also going to build a little triangle here and up here. I know this doesn't look like it's going to support much weight, but I think it will, so fuck all y'all for thinking that. So build it down to here and across and back up to here. Lovely. Now what you want to do is build a little iron support here and attach it to the anchor. Easy enough, just straight up from the bridge point. You need to attach it backwards or else the cables attached from here will just pull forward. And have I mentioned the music in this is fucking batshit insane as hell? So let's build up this way. Connect. I've turned off cross-hatching, so that'll probably actually diminish the total strength of this bridge quite a bit, which I'm not a big fan of, but it should still work out. I can't see this bridge failing in too spectacular of a fashion. Again, I'm using steel on top of the bridge because steel is so much lighter than iron. And then they give me 100 meters of cable, which I'm not sure is quite enough to attach all of this as it should be attached. Have 27 meters left, and yeah, out of cabling. Let's see how this turns out. Really badly. One of the other complaints I have about this game is that it tends to drop your bridge into position. Okay, you know what? Maybe we can actually use steel to actually build slightly further out here. Again, steel is lighter, which is why I'm going with it instead of iron in order to do these projects that are a tiny bit more risky, I would call them. I'm back on iron, huh? Yeah, I'm out of steel. Well, I'm probably fucked with this bridge. Oh, well, this looks a bit better. So I have a level 2 windstorm, 4 tanks, 5 buses that are going to be driving across. Again, because it dropped itself into position, this bridge is considerably more stressed than it would normally be. Let's turn the stress up and see how it's doing without the stress. It doesn't appear to be showing too much sway. Oh, the tanks. The tanks. The tanks. Okay, to be honest, I don't think this is actually providing much support, this little bar here. And I also think that I can probably organize the steel slightly better. I know what I can do too. Okay, so I'm going to select that, select all these chords. Unfortunately, I also have to select every time. There's no hotkey that I can find. So now I'm going to actually attach the cables to these nearer points, and that's a 45-degree angle, so I think they should be carrying a decent amount of weight. Then attach both these cables to the middle to save some space. And then I will actually build across and up using iron here. Or at least this way using iron. And then I will complete the rest using steel, since I should actually have enough steel to at least do that. Yes, I do. And 20 meters remaining, so that will keep it well braced in the middle. Looks like a fairly good bridge. Oh god, let's look at the stress. Let's look at the stress. Total stress. Oh, not that bad. Look, now that it's settling. Unfortunately, one of the platforms broke just right off the bat. One of the road platforms. Fortunately, there is... Yeah, see, it calms down and it goes back to complete green after the huge stress test. Now, this is where things could very well just... Yep. Great. This is such a good bridge otherwise. Okay, maybe I have added too much weight to the middle, and if I just take this off now that I have the chords done properly... That doesn't look very good at all. Let's try it again. Now, it's a mystery to me as to why this little segment of road keeps breaking. Well, you know, I could actually... This is not adding any weight to the bridge. That is not adding any weight to the bridge. I know what I need to do. I need to actually turn on cross-hatching again. Or crossbars, as they like to call it. And redo this whole anterior section. Anterior. I'm not sure what anterior means. I'm pretty sure I used the word correctly, but I can't define it for you. So let's make sure that I actually have cross-hatching now. That should do the trick. 2 forward. It's always good to not build to like the full pinnacle of the squares. Just because that actually, if you build to like the end of the squares, it uses a lot more material and therefore adds a lot more weight. So move to the middle here. And then down here. So this is all cross-hatched, using a lot of material. Then I will actually take some steel for the middle and move that up here. No, iron selected again. When did I use more steel? Oh, cross-hatching. Okay, so see what I mean? Cross-hatching uses a lot more material and also adds a lot more weight. So let's turn that off again. Don't need crossbars here. Ain't no crossbars for the wicked. Well, it appears a lot more solid, but it also appears a lot more heavy. So let's see exactly what goes on here. It appears to be exhibiting no movement so far, so, you know, so far so good. I enjoy that. The 5 buses should be no problem if I can get across the tanks, but like I said, the roads just breaking at random are a really huge piss off. No, they almost made it. And see, this time only one broke. This one keeps breaking and I have no fucking clue why. Since it is symmetrical on both sides, it really shouldn't be. Oh well, maybe that will make all the difference for this test. I could do any one of these tests individually. You can also adjust the camera angle here. So you can do like left margin, right margin, center view. You can do a top view as well. But I want to see my bridge fail in like full spectacular 1080p here. So before I end this episode, I definitely want to finish this bridge because it's so close. So close. Maybe, just maybe. Okay, this whole area here should be pretty damn strong. So maybe if I were to actually erase this, and height is important when it comes to cables for the bridge, but it's not the most important. So let's say I use a bit more steel, but I crosshatch that steel like there, just 2 higher in that case, making that kind of a straight line, a bit more structurally sound. And then I use the cables from there to go to the middle. Then I still have 47 meters of cable, so I can also attach these cables to the side. And a big fucking iron bar. Cause why the hell not? Again, looks pretty stable, except for the left side just collapses. Is there something I'm missing? Did I use iron there accidentally? No, it is steel. Unless I'm very much mistaken. Yep, so basically this side just breaks because it's a dick. Well, let's see how this works out. This has more cables. As you can see, some of the cables are supporting a decent amount of weight. We can see when the stress actually starts kicking in. I'd rather more weight be on the cables than currently is. Not sure if I like that. 3 of them are broken already, 3 of the roadway segments. But it does calm down nicely. Okay, well let's end this simulation. Erase some of this stupid cross-hatching I have going on here. And see how that works. And now the middle doesn't seem supported. And this side still breaks for no reason. Why does this side break? This is one of my major complaints. Like I keep saying, but maybe if I just were to like take it out and then remake it. So let's go iron again. Across here. See, now it doesn't break. The hell's up with that? I don't know. But I guess this will not survive anyways because the middle is just going to collapse. So I will go ahead and actually do what I was doing before and use steel without cross-hatching. Yeah, crossbar is disabled currently. To build down, up, and hopefully... oh, no, back to iron, huh? I don't think connecting these 2 in the middle will actually do anything, so let's see. Yeah, it seems much more solid. None of the road broken, so that's always good as well. And as the tension calms down, it's pretty evenly distributed. Pretty damn even. 3 of the road panels have broken already. But like I said, in this game you can simulate the same thing several times and it can change every single fucking time. Oh. 2 tanks survive! Oh no, this tank's gonna die. Oh well, to be honest, I think this bridge is good enough. So this is gonna be my last test, and at that point I'm gonna call it an episode. Wasn't entirely sure whether to make this indie, but it is, officially speaking, an indie development company. You know, fuck this test. I think what I really need is actually to put a bar of iron down there. And to take away this random bar of iron, which is really stupid. So let's do that. There we go. Seems to be like no tension on this wire here. So I'm not sure if I like that. Yeah, it seems to have actually helped quite a bit, other than the road breaking there. Again, I don't know what that's all about, but at least everything has calmed down. This girder down here is freaking out the cross-hatching is anyways. One more try! And this is one of those one more try games. You end up playing it over and over and over again. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll pick up either Bridge Project or Bridget. It's $20, which is a bit excessive, so maybe when it's on sale. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will just leave you to this. Bye.